Welcome to Lifeline, your ultimate guide to bridging the gap from where you are to where you want to be. You can also catch Lifeline on Facebook and YouTube of Billionaire News Channel. I am your host, Carelle Herrera, and in every episode, we sit down with experts and individuals who faced challenges, embraced change, and discovered what it takes to move forward. Together, we listen to stories that can help unlock your fullest potential, whether it is in your career, relationships, health, or personal growth. Join us as we discover how we can create the life you have always dreamed of. Let us all find out right here on Lifeline. Marami siguro sa atin na nag-iisip, posible ba? Is it possible to have it all? A thriving career, a happy marriage, happy kids, and still keep that spark alive. Tonight's guests might have the answers to that. Powerhouse entrepreneurs, partners in life and business, and honestly, couple goals ko po sila. But here's what we really want to know. How do you make love last when you're both used to being the boss, when late night meetings compete with date nights, when grief, challenges, stress threaten to pull you apart? Sharing us their real, no-filter secrets, the kind you wouldn't find in any business book. Let us welcome VR Del Rosario, the president and COO of Viva International Foods and Restaurants, the visionary behind 12 na pala, 12 explosive dining brands, and Chal Lontoc-del Rosario, CEO of Geron Travel and Tours, certified pilot, mompreneur extraordinaire, and also a host of shows. So ladies and gentlemen, VR and Chal, welcome to Lifeline.
Thank you.
Naano ako sa intro, no stress. Okay, no pressure. But yes, thank you for having us. This is our first ever.
Yeah.
First time ever that we're sitting, gonna talk together. Usually, may sarili siyang interview, may talk.
Yeah.
Usually, I have my own thing, so...
And usually rin, nandun ka sa other side. Ikaw yung nag-i-interview.
Oh, that's why I'm so excited now. Ako yung matatanong.
Yes.
Okay, ready na.
Could possibly be my first time on TV.
No,
Maybe.
you were interviewed several times for news and all.
Yeah, but
not like this.
Not like in a talk show, okay.
Sa'yo lang siya nag-yes.
Oh, thank you.
Interesting.
Maraming salamat. Actually, gusto kong bigyan yung audience natin ng a little bit of a background. So, your family, is from the entertainment industry, from Viva, and, getting into entertainment. Your background is in events.
Yeah.
And then you got into foods.
Yes.
Right?
Sales and then events.
Okay, so what was that like growing up? At Del Rosario with the Viva, brand behind you, and then you stepping up to the plates.
Yeah, I mean, all throughout I was thinking, it might, it's the entertainment route that we'll all be taking on. So, growing up, that's what we were seeing, that's what we got used to. But we branched out to food 2015. So with that opportunity, I mean, I've always wanted to be secretly a chef. So I've always been interested with food. I've had this love affair with food. So when, given the chance, I took a leap and I haven't looked back. I think it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. It's hard, but it's rewarding. So I enjoy it.
Now, si Chal naman, your background is in media, you do hosting, you did the news even.
Way back.
Way back.
Yeah.
You're also one of the improv actors of Spit back in the day. We were together there. Ayan. So, alam natin na yung track mo is really that. On cam, in front of the camera, and then you left, turned around, and did travel.
Well, yes. So that was also a leap of something else. Because although I've always been entrepreneurial, nung bata pa lang ako, no? Whether it's nagbebenta ng, alam mo yung deposit ng bote, naabutan niyo ba yun? ng soft drinks. Baka you guys are too young, you don't know that. Pero, or even just selling things, the entrepreneurial mindset was always there, instilled in us. But I was quite the black sheep, so I was doing my own thing. So I was already on track, I had the steps already from commercial, konting modeling, but what I really wanted to do was, TV show or hosting, but I did a little bit of news, so on and so forth, and then boom, my mom passed away, diba? And the business was there, someone had to take over, my sister was abroad, my brother was still too young, do we shut it down? And something, made me say, okay, yes, let's just do it. And just to clarify, I was 23, 24 years old when this happened. So the experience was more of, I would attend meetings and people would be like, so is your boss coming?
And
Ako na po yun. It's me. Oh, very young,
Wow.
Especially if you're talking to mga airlines, hoteliers, all these people. But yeah, so far, I'm lucky that na-merge ko yung dalawang worlds.
At napakabata mo nung nag-start ka ng business. And kayong dalawa, napakabata when you met.
Yes.
Right? So ito, medyo love story and business.
Yes.
And making it work. Pero
The business of love.
the business of love. Oh my God, ilang taon? 13?
We met
he would
at
say.
13.
I met at 13.
And then ako, I would say, like, 14 pa lang, I was already in love.
Yes.
Aminado. 14, but you would say that we were together.
We started dating at 16, but
Goodness.
crush na namin yung isa't isa earlier.
Nang
pa.
matagal.
Yeah.
Friends kayo before.
Friends, best friend ko siya.
Ay, hindi ko sinasabi yun.
Yun yung-
Siya, best friend, tingin niya sa akin. Ako in love na talaga
Yeah.
ako sa kanya.
In love ka sa best friend mo.
Ganun
Ganun.
ba? Ata, I don't know, I'm not sure.
And then, paano? So, ilang years na? Ilang years na kayo together?
24 years married. What pa?
24 years together, but
Together,
in,
but
in
16
marriage,
years.
In marriage, going 17.
Oh my
16.
goodness.
16?
16.
Oh, you know more.
How did you know na this is it? Because you're so young, then usually, di ba, pagkadating ng college yan, magbe-break, or, pagka nagka-career.
Yeah.
How did you make it work from then to now?
Well, I would always say, first love and last love. Hindi naman ibig sabihin nun, in the middle. For both of us. But, okay, I guess this is what I would love to share with people, We have been through everything. Name every single problem in any relationship na pagdaanan. So, my friends would always say that, sila yung dapat tularan na hindi dapat tularan. Like, do not go through that route, but wow, they withstood everything so much. Imagine being so young and growing up together. We literally grew up together.
That's right.
Growing up, maturing together. Mga last week lang kami nag-mature ata together. But seriously speaking, we grew up together.
Yeah. But I think being polar opposites keeps it interesting. So, us being very different from each other, but there are things that we sort of like. We manage to keep it interesting.
Are there like...
Or interesting lang ako.
Yeah.
Or ako.
Meron ba kayong mga rules? Like, these are the things that we had to honor. Ito yung mga non-negotiables namin. That's why we made it work. Were there things you followed?
Growing up, we were so not perfect. Like, if you wanted to feel better about your relationship, I would tell my story to my friends. Ay, okay na pala kami.
wow.
And I'm only saying this because, a lot of people would think, wow, you've been together so much, and the way that we share, especially me, I like to share our love on social media. It's always like, wow, but if you grow up, or when you grow up with someone, literally from being kids to an adult, to having your kids and having your own careers,
Yes.
you go through a lot. And that's why I always point out, even Queen Elizabeth and her husband, the king, the queen was throwing the tennis racket and the shoe. And I'm not saying that's exactly what happened to us, but we have been through so much to be able to be here now, comfortable to talk about our love-it experience.
So if you were to talk about that, like, I'm not gonna get into the details. I'm sure... okay lang po. Okay. Pero ano sabihin na natin yung mga faces na yon? And alongside, kasi I'm sure maraming tao dyan yung parang, mukha namang perfect sila. Siyempre, mayaman yung pinanggalingan nilang dalawa. Okay yung mga background nila. Magiging successful ang relationship niyan na, they might have other filters and other beliefs na perfect kayo, tingnan. On paper, on TikTok, on social media. So, ano sa tingin niyo yung mga faces na pinagdaanan ninyo?
A lot. Oh my gosh. From from, yun nga, imagine if you're 14, 15, 16 years
Yeah.
old.
So yung puppy love, yan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're going through that whole puppy love.
Yeah, we got married early at 23. So a lot of our growing up happened with each other. I think a lot of maturing. Even up to now, we're still sort of learning a lot of things. But yeah, it's just the way it is.
No,
It's,
I like what you said because to some people, 23 years old, normal lang yon. But at 23, freshly, na nag-graduate,
Yeah.
and then I became a mom, he became a dad, and we were trying to figure out, okay, what is our life path?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
What are our values? Hindi pa nga formulated yung values niya at values ko.
Oo
Like, what is
naman.
it that we truly value in life?
Yeah, we sort of went through the same thing in terms of it's not everything was served on a silver platter. We
Yeah.
both had to go through the ranks.
Yeah.
So we had that training na you can't just get something or you're not given something just because of your name. So you have to sort of earn it.
He has that name to carry and I have that name to build also for myself. So coming together, it was really two different people with two different upbringing.
Right.
That we're trying to come together and say, isa tayo. Oh my gosh, ang rami kong kwento. Ang rami kong kwento na hindi lahat pwede ikwento. But I just want to break that image of perfection because far, far, far from it. We had to fight for this love.
So yung couple goals, yung sinabi ko kanina,
Yes.
couple goals, paano ma-achieve?
Okay, yung goal na yan, natatawa ko. Sorry, one thing comes into mind. Papatayin niya ako for sharing this. Way back a little earlier into our marriage, it was crazy. We were always arguing because we're both strong people.
Yeah.
Type A, and you are it's not alpha. You would correct me. You'd always say sigma. So, and very strong personalities. And, when we'd fight, it was chaos. It was a disaster.
And you wouldn't back down from that.
No, never. Women empowerment, yun yung akala ko pa dati. Pero iba pala yun, yung meaning
Yeah.
nun. Like, I think if I will just share one of the funniest stories that I always say, pwede nyo gamitin to sa pelikula. Because super, super nakakatawa siya. We had a big argument, just like any other couple out there. And I'm only sharing this because I want you to know that it happens behind the scenes. It's normal. I packed up his stuff, binigay ko yung luggage niya, nilabas ko sa pinto, and then, dumating ang...
Nilabas mo sa kalye.
Nilabas ko sa kalye.
May kasama ka, lumayas
And
ka na,
wrap it
gano'n.
all up, biglang we saw police lights
No,
everywhere.
you didn't see. You saw me getting it in the middle of the street.
Ayun ba?
Oh, inikutan na ako ng bomb squad.
And my bomb squad.
And SWAT.
And SWAT team. And I was like, what is happening? So, syempre, nagbati na kami. Tinawagan ko siya. Sabi ko, what's happening? Ba't ganyan? Nilabas mo yung luggage ko. Akala nila bomb squad.
Oh
Kasi
my
itim yung
goodness.
luggage niya. And we kept laughing like, crazy ito. Crazy. And that's when you learn that, okay, not everyone, or most of us, let's be honest, we do not have this planchadong
Picture
story,
perfect.
picture perfect thing. But you just know how to cross from that chaos to the next chaos, and until you get it right down to where you're comfortable in.
Wow, ang ganda
Yeah.
nun. You got a lot of mess and you lived through it and sorted it out and it got to where you are. Now, I'm very interested to talk more about that, yung challenges that you had. But let's go on a break first, okay? So, see you after the break. Welcome back to Lifeline. Let's do a quick game with VR and Chal. Ang game na to, turuan.
I love it.
Kasi wala tayong mga props. Turuan na lang. Gagamitin nila yung inyong fingers to point at the person na most likely ito yung pipiliin or gagawin.
Okay.
So, ang aking tatanungin, sino sa inyo yung most likely na pipiliin ang love over success? Okay? 1, 2, 3, point.
I invested in love. Ito yung investment ko.
Oo.
Hindi dahil mayaman siya. Mayaman siya. Pero pwede na rin. Ang tagal ng ROI, Carelle. No, but I looked at it ever since I was young. Ever since I was young na, love is worth investing in. If you're serious about it, because panghabang buhay siya eh. It will make or break who you are. So I really all in ako sa kanya. Matagal man ang ROI, meron namang interest from time to time. Meron din bumabagsak, tumataas, but overall, ang ganda ng investment ko.
Right, right.
So ako yon, I will choose love. Love is my greatest investment. Sa lahat ng ginawa ko, sa negosyo, everything.
Kasi maraming ganyan yung tinatanong eh. So kung pipiliin ko ang love, magsasacrifice ako sa business side, sa success side, right? Or yung career ko. So meron po tayong survey through Impact App and nakita namin kung ano yung mga sagot ng karamihan ng tao dito sa tanong na pipiliin mo ba ang love over success or success over love? Ayan, kita mo. Worth it ba? Yan yung unang tanong. Out of the, number of people that we interviewed, asked the survey with pala, tinanong namin, is it worth it to sacrifice success for love? What is your feedback or reaction dito? Kung ikaw...
No sila.
Oo eh. Oo.
No ka rin?
Oo.
No, I said, no, I was saying between the both of us, baka you would be the one who would do that more. Ako kasi, ang love language ko is to provide.
Oh.
So, I think yung success would allow me to be able to provide everything the person I love or, with everything yun.
Oh.
That you have?
Yeah, not naman, but almost.
Although people would think that, although everyone knows how, in love I still am with my husband. I'm so into this empowerment thing. I'll do my own thing, diba? I'll have my own business pa rin and all of this. But at the end of the day, I still would choose love.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Like, kunyari, between a business decision, whether it's moving to a certain location or meron kang isa-sacrifice time with him versus, something that you need to do for business. Kasi iba-iba ang business decisions.
Yep.
Right?
Well, I think I'm very fortunate that he comes from a family where, talagang men are on top of everything, takes care of their wives and all. But I'm just very fortunate that he allowed me and said yes, although wala ka talagang choice, to still be able to work and do the things that I want to do. I'm learning how to fly a plane right now.
Yeah.
Okay, support. Yeah. I'm doing hosting on this side. Okay, support siya. I have my business here with John Travel. Okay, support siya. But come the time that he really says, no, stop it, I would actually.
Wow.
People won't ever think that.
Wow.
Aawayin ko ng konti. And then, but deep down, I would still submit and say yes.
Alam mo, sobra akong can relate dyan sa sarili ko ring marriage because, I'm a strong woman, just like you.
Yes.
And, ito kay VR, how does that happen for you? Kasi a lot of men feel insecure, kaya ilalaban nila, or they feel emasculated with a strong woman. How does this happen for you?
Well, to me, kasi when you enter a marriage, it's not one way. So it's it's not just your happiness. It has to be both of you are happy. So if your partner wants to do something, then you should support it. So that's how I feel about it.
When have you put your foot down and said, no, not that one?
I don't think I have ever yet, no? I'd be like, nah, let's go, let's do it, yeah. So I think it's important for both parties to be happy. So yeah, be supportive. As long as it's not hurting anyone, there's no harm to anyone, then it's good.
Tanong ko naman this time would be, biggest challenge. Siguro top 3. If you're to think of the biggest challenges you went through as a couple, and how did you stay present? How did you become each other's allies? How did you make it through those challenges?
You.
Ang rami kasi. I'm just so glad we are where we are right now. And I'm able to share all of these things. Like the story I shared a while ago na pang pelikula na comedy. Only because we are already comfortable. Sa raming pinagdaanan, we're already in an okay state na, okay, we're able to laugh about it. So for me, the most challenging was, I would say, our wedding was supposed to be canceled. Very movie-like ulit. Pwedeng pang pelikula. A week before we
Yeah.
were supposed to get married because we were super young and there were fears and there was a lot of, demands, both strong personalities and everything was supposed to be canceled. But buti na lang hush-hush, walang ano. And, but we pulled through. And, in fairness to us, even if we were young, a lot of people were against it. And against in the sense that, you guys are too young,
Yeah,
or
maybe because of
hindi nyo
that.
pa alam ginagawa nyo, or
Wait it out.
wait it out, and all of these other things.
Establish
But
yourselves first.
Yeah.
establish yourselves first. And I'm glad we made the decision to say no. I think at the end nga, even if cerebral here,
Yeah.
medyo,
Yeah.
the decisions might be, but here it was always 101% guaranteed. Like, no, I do not see myself with anyone else.
Okay.
Just this person.
So that's one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you really just have to take that leap of faith, which you won't be making a lot of in your lives. So it's one of those. So luckily, we were able to work it out, and yeah.
Parang ano siya for me, sorry, I bring it back to business decision that there's always a risk and there's always gonna be people saying na wag mo yang gawing negosyo yan, wag mong pasukan yan, it won't earn. And I hear a lot of these success stories also when I do interviews, when I talk to people, and they stick to their guns because there's something deep inside of them that says, no. Alam ko this will be successful, I know this will work, I will weather it through. And that was the same thing for me. Na if people could relate, na same thing with love, na no, I know all the odds were playing against me,
Yes.
but the feeling is different. There's something stronger.
Okay. So if you were to give like tips, tools, for people who are going through chaotic things as well, building their careers, building their relationships, ano yung mga nagamit ninyo na masasabi nyo, shucks, buti na lang, ito yung mga ginawa natin. We had this, that's why it worked.
I think being consistent in doing what you have to do, really. If you're starting a business or if you're doing something that you believe in, then you have to stick to it and perfect the craft. Put in the hours, put in the work until you get it right. Until you get to not naman perfection, but until you get it right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And putting those systems in place. I
Yes.
think that's important because you have kids also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ako, I would say honesty. Kind of weird for whether business but definitely for relationship, honesty and realness. Because I come from a service industry background in travel. You have to be honest. If this is going on in one country, if it's the experience might not be too nice in one thing, you have to just say it. And it's the same thing that I give to my relationship with my husband. Just realness and honesty. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through, and communication.
Yeah.
Super. It might sound like a cliche to a lot of people, but communicating everything, not keeping it to yourself, makes a whole lot of difference.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But how do you communicate, knowing that you
Oh.
have different styles of communicating?
I'll say something. Siguro a tool that people can use now, because he has his own career, his own life. I have my own career, I have my own life, and we're quite busy. Except for you today. But he would have his own meetings, I would have my own meetings, I would do my own events and go to the office and siya rin may sarili. But at night when we see each other, he does share to me what happens throughout his day, and I do share to him what happens to my day. And then we fix our schedules again for the entire week. We say, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then, so I kind of know when I'm gonna see him, when we're gonna be together. And despite how I may seem busy online, people see it, and he's really very busy as well. Every day, we have that talk. Every day.
Wow.
Non-stop.
And do you have like mga date nights or, shut off time? We don't talk about stuff at this time.
Well, we try to date, but if we don't get to date, we have our conversations at home.
Oh, at least.
That communication is so crucial. And it's not like, walang negosyo, usapang negosyo in bed. No. It's intertwined. It's very much intertwined because parte siya ng buhay namin eh. So whether it's talking about the kids, how we raise things, whether it's talking about our life, whether it's talking about
Travel plans.
or our business, you know, this happened at work, what happened to you at work, and
Yes.
I'm able to give him advice and he's able to give me an advice. So it's part of that. So I know a lot of people will say na, dapat pagdating sa in bed, you know, para romantic,
Yeah.
tanggalin
No,
niya.
no,
No, we actually acknowledge that this is part of our life. So we get to
Exactly.
talk about it. And I enjoy it. I love negosyo talk and he sorts of enjoys it as
I enjoy
well.
it. I enjoy it.
And trivia talk and whatsoever. But that very simple thing of communicating is super key.
If there is a lifeline that you could share with us, what is that for you in your relationship?
I think it's, every day isn't promised. So, if you can do something now, then do it right away. Yeah.
Mine would be love and curiosity. I've always been consistent with that. When I stick to following what I'm curious about, it leads me to beautiful things. And same thing with him. I've always been still curious with him, with his life, with my career and everything. So curiosity and love. Those two things are my lifeline, always consistent.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. You know, we talk about so many things today, and I think that in this episode, this conversation has inspired so many people. So thank you so much, BR and Chal, for sharing
Thank you,
this with
Thank you.
us.
Yay,
I
first
hope-
ever!
Yes.
Oh, I hope that this conversation has inspired all of you to figure things out better in your love, in your relationships, and in your careers. We all have different dreams, and every journey begins with a single decision, a decision to grow together, to change together, and to believe in the power of partnership. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Your lifeline is in your hands. But as VR and Chal showed us today, it is even stronger when shared with someone who truly understands your dreams. You have the power to create the life you deserve. So take that power, own it, and let love and ambition guide you forward. Thank you to our amazing guests, VR and Chal del Rosario, for sharing their story and wisdom with us today. And thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to join us next time for more inspiring stories and life-changing insights. I am Carelle Herrera, and this is Lifeline.